Alright. I think we're good. We ready? Nah, I don't like that. Sorry, my thumb mount's loose. I'm gonna get this as solid as possible for you. All right. I've seen my center finder and a crescent wrench because it might get kind of cold tonight. Got it. All right, we got a first tank of propane behind me if I need it. I gotta mute this in my other ear because the timing's off and it's about a 3 to 5 second delay in my other ear, and I cannot talk when I'm seeing it. I always got to find the middle of this. Best way to do it is hit at least 4 different sides. Find your center. That's our center point. I got to get my pen mandrel off of here. It has been a crazy couple hours of running errands. If you're ever breaking something loose from your lathe, throw your knockout bar into it. Don't jam it. If you ram it, it don't work. All right, that's ready. I need a chuck. I need my screw if I can find it, and if not, we're going to do this a different way. Use that one. I haven't used one of these in a minute. Lock that bad boy in there. I gotta run and grab a drill. We should be good to go. Hope I have 3 great drill bits nearby. I got home later than I meant to, and it's been a mad dash. If you guys hear any announcers in the background, this high school up the road from me is having, I believe, a soccer game tonight. Oh yeah, and I need to turn down the music. Been too long since I've done this, I forget everything I need to do. Yeah. And, oh yeah, I'm glad I checked this too. Take that down to about there, because usually around 20% is good. I gotta plug my phone in, because lately this one has not been holding a charge all that well. Well, I hope I don't need a grinder tonight, because I gotta move. It's gonna work. Please reach. Please reach. It reached. All right. Should leave everything else on, and it is full. All right. Hopefully that's enough because that battery's dead. That's all the charge it had in it. Looks like I might be good. All right. This is going to be the store display bowl for some tops once we get it done. I'm going to run about half speed. I'm going to lose the hat. Grab a face shield. If I sound funny or muffled, if it's too extreme, let me know. Otherwise, well, ain't much I can do about it because I want to be able to breathe and see. I got to share this, and then we're good to go. Because I forgot to do all that fun social media stuff a little bit ago. So let me hop into Facebook and switch over to my business page. And it changed to come to line. Awesome. All right. Post that out of there into my other accounts. If it'll let me switch, which it doesn't want to. Restart the app. Switch that, move that. Pull that, that. All right. I got one other thing I got to check, and then we're good to go. All right. And I'm back. Here we go. It's already losing torque. Let me change this thing around. Changing gears. One of the rare times you'll ever see me change my belting ratio. Feel free to say hi in the chat. I see two people in here. I think one of them's me. All right, that'll give us a little more torque behind my cuts. Here we go. I forgot there's one other thing I needed to do. There. Let's get this thing going about 1,000. Here we go. There. Oh, I got to plug this other phone in too. All right. Yeah, I can hear everything, and I don't hear my helmet. Yeah, you won't know when I'm using this thing. Woo! Because what you can't hear is I have a fan blowing down my face right now. All Whose idea was it to throw resin on the lathe? Oh, yeah. All right. All right. This is looking cooler than I thought it was going to. I cast this blank about a year ago, I think. Gonna need that in a minute. This thing's not wanting to cut very well. I think it's on its last side now. Double checking that. Sometimes I don't get comments on my other phone, so all right. That'll work. A little bigger than I wanted it, but it'll work. I'm a little rusty at bowls if you can't tell. All right. That's the only cut I'll make with that tool. All right. Well, I can take this thing off for a little bit, because now we're just going to be doing some wet sanding. All right. I need one other thing to finish too while I'm thinking about it before I get too deep into this. I knocked something over. There it is. How we doing? I see new people joining. Feel free to say hey in the chat. Oh, me saying hi is enough to make people leave? What the heck? I don't know what my dog is barking for. That's what I need right here. The head's missing. Well, apparently my sanding tool's dead. That's awesome. More parts to order. Ah. How we doing? Feel free to say hey in the chat too. I'm always willing to take and answer questions when I'm on these. I don't do them that often, so take advantage while you can. I could have swore I had a sander over here. Drives me crazy when this stuff breaks or comes up missing. Oh well, once we finish organizing it back here, it'll hopefully turn up. I gotta grab my drill. This isn't working. And I was trying to keep the noise out, but I don't have a choice, unfortunately. Unless I see my sander while I go back here. All right. This does the same thing that my hand sander would, except this one makes more noise. So I'll apologize for that while I plug it in. 2 more of these, and then we're on to some finer sanding grits. All right. Last grit here, and then we don't need to drill until we do the inside. Yay. I'm all wet. All right. See how we're looking. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Ain't done with you yet though. What am I thinking? Oh yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself again. How we doing? I keep seeing, look, I'm not sure if it's the same person popping in and out or if it's different people. Feel free to say hey in the chat though if you got questions. Acorn down. These are micro mesh sanding pads. And all I've been spraying on everything is water. It keeps the dust down and actually really helps you, it helps buff everything up a lot faster. This is looking a lot better cutting into it than I thought it would too, which makes me really happy. And I don't care about the presentation, I'm talking about the actual resin because it had a lot of air bubbles when I started. I'm just making sure I'm still connected. And I am. Hey, Adam Savage is live. Great. They said they were going live today. I just never saw a time. I would turn the book in my ear off, but then I can't see my chat. Every time that thing slows down, I freak out. Like, did I just lose connection? All right. All right. It's about halfway through. Then a couple of pastes and all right, here comes the last pad here. Even though I think I'm talking to myself. All right. We're gonna dump this water on my firewood because I ain't gonna burn it for a while. Not a sponsor. All right. Mm. How we doing? I see so many news here. You got anybody just want to talk? Questions, comments, concerns? That's why I don't want to open. Wrong end of the tape. For the record, I am opening something. Microfine, Yorkshire grit. Good stuff right there. Do I have... Aha! I do have some Sheila wax too. Sweet. How we doing? How we doing? Anybody's got any questions, comments, concerns? Why you doing that? What you putting on it? Feel free to throw them out. I feel like I'm scaring everybody off. I'm not that scary, people. I'm a nice guy unless you actually provoke me. You know, and I'm not using Sheila wax on this. All right. That's the first part done. Now for the scary part. Here. All right. Let's try this one. Let's try ball gouge. See if that makes this any easier. Cool. Yeah. All right. That was a soft spot. We're going to the negative rake. It's slower, less aggressive, but safer. That layer piece almost falls up. How we doing? Any questions, comments, concerns? Throw them in the chat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video if you guys are enjoying yourselves. I would be talking more if anybody had questions. And yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Still got a thick bottom too, so I can actually not worry about punching through it. Makes me happy. And I'm alone. You guys need to ask questions. That's for the replay squad, by the way. Starting to remember why I don't do these very often. I miss the days when people would talk to me. All right, I'm going deeper. But first, we're going to turn the speed up a little bit. That's how it goes, Liquid. I've been live for, what, at least 40 minutes and I only got one other comment. So Joys are just starting out. Oh no, I just flipped my belt backwards. Ah. Come on. There we go. Even if I tried showing you guys what I'm doing here, it's kind of rough. There's not much room. I barely can get my hand in here as it is. Faster. There we go. That'll make life easier. If you're just learning or just starting off, give me 1 second. I need this face shield off so I can actually talk on that one and grab a few things. So if you're just starting getting into it, I highly suggest starting off with Easy Wood tools. That's actually what I'm using to hollow this out. They are replaceable. Here's another one. You just loosen that screw up and this whole insert comes out. You don't need to worry about sharpening or anything like that. They work the same as a traditional scraper. Because once you start getting into the actual bowl gouges like this, or spindle gouges, so you can see the difference. Bowl gouges are generally about a 60 degree. These are about 45. People will argue with you with the exact angle you need. That's what I like. These, you can get a catch that's a lot worse, but you can also get a lot smoother of a turn. But I've broken more projects using gouges like this than I have the Easy Wood. And also highly recommend, if you got someone near you that does classes, take one. I didn't do that with the only lathe class I ever took was how to use these to make a bowl. And I don't regret spending that money. The only thing I would have done, if I have it out here, here's a small one. If you get into a class, make sure you learn about a skew too. These things are really useful, but really scary unless you got someone that actually knows what they're doing. So, because I'm still learning myself, here's a bigger one. It's just a straight blade that's, there's 4 different cuts you can make with these. I'm still relatively new with them, so I can't go into too much detail about everything with them because I'm learning myself. But I love them for doing pens and other small projects like that. I knew I was going to hit some air bubbles, but this is what happens when you turn beads in resin. You get air bubbles where the little holes are. You can get them. The Easy Wood has 4 different sizes for 4 different types. Well, 3 different size, 3 different shapes. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. You've got your round, That's a detailed diamond, straight, and you can also get these straight ones with a small radius to them. I personally don't, because I use them for cutting straight in for doing like tenons, which is what holds this in. And then you've got a slightly wider triangle to do different shapes with as well. I actually use the details a lot for doing like if I got circles or something like that, because I'm getting ready to start getting some snowmen out here. And trying to think, do I have any nearby? I think I got some. Give me 1 second. But the joys of wearing an earbud for a mic. You can't get away from me. So I'm in the process of rearranging my entire shop, so don't mind the mess. I've been needing to do it for over a year, so it's gotten kind of crazy bad out of hand. It's not where I thought it was. But yeah, I also definitely recommend, if you're starting bowl turning, don't do resin. The last one I did of these, that blew up in my face. That hurt. Could have swore I had a set of 3 sitting right here, though. Oh, it's going to bug me now. Might be on that table. Oh, well. Yeah, when I cast this up, I used a super slow hardening resin. And I actually used a vacuum chamber and pressure pot, and it still has gaps in it. So then again, I probably could have pulled a vacuum longer. I was in a hurry the night I did it, but yeah, I've done a lot more casting since I did this. I actually forgot I had it sitting around, so I saw it yesterday and was like, oh, I want to see what that thing looks like. So I also recommend one of these, because really does help with not inhaling as much of this sawdust and junk. But all right, we'll put that phone right there so I can keep an eye on you. And I want to take this a little bit deeper, because I still got a good hunk of in the bottom. This is actually going to be for a store display for the tops I make. Oh, I love mica swirling. Before I turn this back on, because I haven't taken the time to figure out how to do the pen blanks that have the hybrid stuff in them. Ouch. So I still buy a lot of them, but I mean, there's 3 of the ones I picked out a while ago. I doubt I'm buying many more before I start just doing it myself, because now I got the bandsaw that I needed. The other one I had doesn't have the mica powder in it, but yeah, plus I have a friend that casts pen blanks that's not too far from me that I try to support him too, and I got all kinds of his stuff. Oh, I definitely hear that. I actually, anytime if I'm casting colors, if I got an extra one, I keep a paint mixing cup that's full of resin that I do with any of my leftover if I have it, which I try not to. But once I fill that thing up, I'm going to use that to make a vase, and all of my cutoffs And like some of these that I bought from Woodcraft, I might try to turn that into a light pool, or I might cut it in half. Because I got a whole bucket of pen cutoffs. I forget where I put it off the top of my head, but once I find it again, I'm probably going to cast all those into a big bowl for the end of the year. I've also got a Lego set over on a table just out of frame that I might be doing for Christmas, because I think it's got a Christmas tree and 2 polar bears, because I cast it last year and I haven't done anything with it yet. I never thought about using an ice cube mold. It's a good idea. I actually just found I ordered a thing of like gummy bear molds for candy making, and I was going to start doing that now that I have them. Once I start mixing resin again, I'm going to start doing those, and I might make a gummy bear bowl because I think it'd be pretty cool. But I really don't want to turn this all the way up, but I really want to. Okay, that sounded thin. I might have misjudged something. Little safety tip: whenever you're doing resin bowls, try not to take them off out of the chuck until you're done. That's why I'm taking the whole chuck off. Because last time I did this, I did that and then it blew up on me, and I think it's because I didn't center it right. Okay, yeah, I'm about that thin in the bottom. I'm calling it. We're on to sanding now. Yay. Oh. I'm free. All right. Yeah. Last time I was pouring some, I had a custom charcuterie board that was ordered, and I'm still waiting for him to pick it up. My heat gun died on me right when I needed it doing that, so I just got a new one. And I've also found that a little isopropyl alcohol over the top will pull them out too. Not sure how or why it works, but it's effective. Need a hit of my team. We're going to sand this up. Yeah, because I haven't done a video on it, but I do have a blank downstairs that's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a prototype top or a tabletop for a nightstand that I want to build a set for my bedroom, so I can have one on either side. And I want it ocean themed, and so I did a prototype just for myself a while ago, and it came out pretty cool. So I'm just making sure my other phone's staying charged up because it's been having some issues. If you ever do wet sanding on your lathe, I highly recommend disc drying mats too. I got that at Dollar Tree. Because, yeah. All right, I think it finally found where it wants to spin at. Yay! Boy, that resin smells funky. So this is a new brand that I'm tried out with this one too. I've never smelled any. That's got a very unique smell. And don't ask me the brand. I forget what it is off the top of my head. Oh, you ain't kidding there. I'd love to see some of those in person because a picture wouldn't do that justice. That sounds beautiful. It's amazing what you can do with a little mica powder, alcohol ink, resin, and a couple of thin layers. And if anybody else has never seen that type of thing, I highly recommend, even if you don't buy it, if somebody does it at a local craft show, just go in and look at it. It literally looks like an overhead view from like an airplane, or just looking down on an ocean or sunset or whatever the design the artist is going for. That's not clean. Sorry, I had to go back to 60 grit. I normally don't use it, but sometimes when you need to, whenever you're sanding and polishing resin, the biggest thing is you have to make sure all of your scratch marks from the other grit are gone. And there actually is a theory behind how you're supposed to sand. Like you never increase by more than 50%. So like the pad before this was 60, this is 120, the next one's 180. That's why if you ever buy a multi-pack of sandpaper, might not have the same gradients or something slightly different, because they're trying to make it as easy as possible to remove the scratch marks from before. Oh yeah, I forgot. Should have warned you guys from the beginning. Nerd alert! Yeah, that's one thing I've never tried is tumblers and the like. I always thought it'd be fun to do though. Just never. I don't want to buy all the equipment just to do it for myself. And I don't know anybody that's willing to let me play with it. Where I do that. Ow. That hurt. Well, it wouldn't be a resin project on a lathe if I didn't hurt something. My fingernail caught perfectly in one of those little holes. That didn't feel too good, I'm not going to lie. No. Never even heard of a spinner. My problem though, if I go to make a tumbler, I'm going to do it on here because I actually have a few tumbler. It's a stainless steel insert that goes down in it, and then you can turn a piece of wood to fit it. I've done one so far. I don't know where it's at, but I did I took some unground coffee beans and resin and made it. I haven't seen that thing in a while. I might have forgot it at a show or something. Or it might be buried out here in the mess of 2 years. The joys of when your job takes over your life where you can barely have time to play. But if I do that. Oh, dude, I forgot. After this, I still got to record this week's YouTube video too. I should have done that before I ever went live. Oh well. Yeah, that shouldn't take too long. Considering this week's is going to be something fun. Yeah, something I'm bringing out for the kids this year. I might do it first thing in the morning. It shouldn't take long. Cut a shape out with a bandsaw. Cut a dowel rod in half. Do a couple other little things and make a little thing that I've never met a little boy that wouldn't love one. I can't tell you what it is because then you won't want to come back and see how I do it. I think I know I'm going to do the intro too because I'm going to have fun with it tomorrow, so be warned. Gotcha. Man, I'll look into it, but it might be something I do after, because there's a couple other things I've always wanted to get into as well that if I can pull that off first, I would definitely do it first. Like I've always wanted to try throwing pots. I just think it'd be fun to do. My biggest thing is I need to figure out where I can get a kiln that I can actually use in my house. All right. And there's our 1000 grit. That thing's soaked. Oh man, that thing's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, that's what I've seen. That's the other reason why I never got into it. Because, like, I'm looking at one of my lasers right now, because I got a little one to try it out. And I offer it as an add-on for, like, cutting boards or wood bowls, wood pens, stuff like that. I can also do Yetis. So I've got the attachment that can, I think they call it a rotator. I don't have that. I don't keep that laser out here. It's just my cheap one that I can do little odds and ends with. I actually have one that I got to get done tonight too. Yeah, I think I'm going to record YouTube tomorrow. Ugh! So I do got one question though. When you say liquid rock aquatics, so you do like stuff with aquariums too? Because if so, I mean, I might be a nerd. I love my fishies. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I know I have no rhythm, but the Bluetooth I'm using for the mic so you can hear me better is totally playing the background music that's really quiet, but it's like loud as could be in my ears, so sometimes I just start dancing. Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Corey with Aquarium Co-op and KG Tropicals, and I might have, counting all of my betta tanks, about 36 aquariums in my house, including one full saltwater. I did have a brackish tank for a while, but the pufferfish kept not making it, and I got tired of replacing them. Not quite sure what was wrong with it, but as this takes my buffing pad right out of my hand. I think after this I might throw a couple tops on here so I can actually get a picture for the thumbnail of this one, because this is actually going to be a display ball for tops at a store I'm in locally. I was actually just out there earlier tonight. But that's more than a few. See, I've got a 90 with my Oscar and Bala Shark right now. I'm saving up to get a bigger one for them. I've got a 75 gallon, which is my saltwater tank, a 55, which is a community. 220 longs that are empty at the moment. A 20 tall, no, 220 talls. What else? The 15-gallon cube in my office, and then I've custom built a rack for my bettas that holds 10 tanks. It's 5 tanks that are 5.5 gallons and 5 tanks that are 10 gallons each. And then I've got a few others spread out throughout the house that I know I can't remember what's. I think I've got a 20 long in my bedroom that I didn't mention, and yeah, I have a problem. I love fish. Yeah, I've got a handful that are torn apart and dry right now too. And I'm trying to get through some cleaning out my house for the winter and cleaning out here. Plus, I've been dealing with some medical issues lately, so it's been kind of rough, but hey. Yeah. I used to keep mystery snails just to feed my puffers too. And when I quit, or when I decided I'm done buying them for a while, now they just kind of, a lot of them disappeared. I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, actually I do. The tanks I was growing them out in, I tore apart. I didn't use that on the last one. All right. This is another one that I highly recommend if as a new turner to grab, Yorkshire Grit. It doesn't do it as much on resins and plastics, but wood, it will make it pop so beautifully. It's not funny. And the way I just do that is I just rub it on with the lathe stopped, turn the speed up pretty high, and you just work it in back and forth. Yeah. I've never even tried selling mine. I thought about it a few times, but I was just like, I already do too much, so I just slowed down a little bit. So I have thought about doing like an aquascaping video or something too, because with people that are local to me, I'm actually willing to go out and take care of other people's aquariums too, because let's face it, I almost prefer doing that to just, well, shouldn't say I prefer it, but I enjoy it. Especially if I have set up like mine, cement floor with trash cans that roll. I don't got to carry nothing. Never heard of either of those. So, because I get a lot, or I get a lot of them from Aquarium Co-op, but I'm sure there's places that are closer. Oh, and the white tin that I just pulled this out of, this is still Yorkshire Grit. This is just the microfine. It definitely does a lot better of a job on resins and any type of plastics. It's the difference of the white and the black tin. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the acronym. Yeah, I used to use a Python because I'm close enough to a sink that I can do that with in my house. But unfortunately, I'm on a well, so it would take me like, I don't want to exaggerate, but about 10 hours to drain my tanks, then refill them because I'd emptied my well out at least 3 times. And I didn't like going through that much water since I'm not on city, so I switched back to a regular gravity siphon and a trash can because then I just pump it into my sump. I still empty my well twice to fill all my tanks at once, but it's a lot faster. Because I've got it down to, if I have the salt water ready, I can have all my aquariums serviced in about 4.5 hours to clean them all, fill them all. But like I say, I have to have the salt water pre-mixed and ready to go in order to hit that time mark, because otherwise it'll never happen. Oh, where's my other chuck at? There it is. Found the other chuck I need. I'm going to throw a couple tops on here when I'm done with this. And then this is, I'm doing this backwards, but Putz Ultra Gloss. I have lots of options for buffing compounds and finishes, but the Yorkshire grits in this, probably the best combo if you want something quick and easy. There's a few others I could put on it, but I think that these with the beeswax finish are honestly my favorite effect. The best thing you can do is, if you want to try out a bunch of different things, grab a plastic pen blank, either get a round one or turn it round, sand it up, buff it up through the micro mesh pads, and then just try the different finishes. If you can, cut them to like a 2-inch section, and then just every pad gets a different finishing technique, and give it a try that way, because you get the most bang for your buck. If you make it like 1.5 inches, 2 inches on a 5-inch blank, that gives you, well, like 3 options to look at. And like, if you want to know if you want to see how clear it leaves it, just cast a regular resin blank in there. Because if you're doing that, you don't need a tube or anything. You could just throw them straight on. But just for consistency's sake, I would wait to cut them until last. That way you know they all got sanded evenly. That's about where I'm at. I actually kind of miss it. But I think I have an FX4, I think is the model. I couldn't afford the FX6 on my 75. And then with my Oscars, I know I should have something bigger, but I've got I think it's a 110 hang-on back from Aqua Clear, and then 2 or 3 sponge filters, and they all run off their own independent air filter. All from ACO since I want to sound cool. But I might have to try that though, because some of my media I think is starting to lose its coherentness. So I've been running some of those aqua clears for 3-4 years now. But man, I'm coming around behind here so I can actually see it with you. That is what I call a beady bull. And that light coming through right in there is why I wanted to stop. That's why I took it off the chuck to look through it, because it's about a 1/4 inch thick. I didn't want to go any deeper, or I didn't want to go any thinner on that. She's got some heft to her too. I like it. All right. Break my chuck loose. And anytime if your chuck locks up on you, I find lock your spindle so it doesn't turn. If you have a chuck key that goes in there, just one violent jerk back, just nice and firm. You're not trying to hurt it, but you're also not fooling around and pushing on it slow. And then if you got one of these, and I'm taking this term from somebody else that has the whammy bars that control it like that, you just take it on and same thing. You just give them a nice hard tug, and usually they break loose pretty quick. I might have to look into that, because I've been thinking about upgrading to an FX6 when I can afford it. And I so want a linear air piston. I want one I can run most of my sponge filters off of, just so I only have to deal with having one. My only problem is I like to have two for my tanks, so that way if it quits working, I got a spare pump for it. So I can just throw it in and switch over just as soon as I find it's down. All right. It's starting to get cold out here. How cold is it? It feels like it's colder than 49 degrees, which is what my phone is currently telling me. But, all right, we're going to throw a couple tops together so I can get some, give you guys an idea what this is going to look like. Nice and smooth. There. And since you were asking about gouge recommendations, I'll turn this off. Since you're asking about gouge recommendations earlier, when you do get into them, you want to do what's called riding the bevel, which is right there with the angle. When you're cutting, that's the straight edge of that angle points in the direction you're going to cut, and the rest of the gouge just follows it. So if you want to do a shape, you just kind of rotate it up, and it sounds complicated, sounds kind of hard. At least it did to me when I was learning. But once you play around with it enough, you start to get a good feel for it. This is a fun side note. That's fairly straight, and this last one I'm going to put a little curve in it. That's better. I don't know if it helps you guys, but it helps me see better. And then from there, we just take these down. And before I cut this off or add color, I always start the next one. Just as a little time-saving hack. Because once I'm ready to do this one, what I'll do is cut in and give it the little bit of a rounded shape. Now I'm actually gonna, yeah, that's right. Now I've got my lathe running in reverse because it helps me lay the color bead down a little better. So we just kind of do whatever strikes me. Put a line right there on the very edge. And these are just Tombow calligraphy markers. You can use regular Sharpies too. They work just as well. I just prefer the Tombows because I can really get the thin line without worrying about burning anything up. And then when I'm done, I just grab it and it breaks right off. And we'll reverse the lathe back. Turn that off just to prove it works. And now we'll get this next one ready to go. And if you ever do start doing these for to sell or even just for friends, when you're done, if it feels like a real rough edge, take the bevel of your tool and you can go back over it and burnish the edge out. It'll take the marker a whole lot better. And this one's to be believed I was just abandoned. Sometimes it goes in and out, so if you're still here, I ain't judging. And if you're catching this and interested in the science behind it, check out the Top Turning 101 video. And then the Top Turning 102 is some of the things that I've since changed. And you can see the different techniques I'm using here as well. I did 102 as kind of as a rush video because I didn't have any other ideas. And I was kind of upset that day. All right. It's because I'm curious because that thing's been saying 1 for more than a minute. Nope, it's 2. So that one's the official count. So that's the one I care about. I just had an idea. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. Definitely tell it's done by hand. Not as pretty as I was hoping for, but oh well. Like I say, it's whatever strikes me. Like I say, got real thick right there. Kind of want to figure that trick out though, because I've seen some people do it. We're going to try a 1/4 inch on this one. right. I'm going to do this one in a little bit more of a unique technique. I do find this color combo to be pretty popular too. While that dries, I need a minute to find my other one. And that should be just about dry, so we'll tap, thick line, tap, tap. My marker's about shot. I don't see any of the black though. I don't know if this will work. Nope. Oh, we're only doing one of these on this one then. I need a couple more black ones. Oh, I screwed that one up. Oh, that one's trash. I forgot to take a tool and cut into there deeper. It split instead of giving me a nice clean break like I wanted. All right, I got 2 more of these after this one, and then I think I might be calling it a night. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to know about lathe work, woodworking, pen turning, ball turning. Heck, try to stump me. I kind of like learning new stuff. Alright, this thing needs sharpened. I got another one that's sharp because my grinder's currently unplugged and I don't want to have to deal with anything. Oh yeah, that one's good. By the way, all the turning and all the wood chips you see coming off here are done off just a very burr on the very edge of these wings. Just a fun fact. Because at this speed, sorry, I'm doing math. And so full size here, the circumference all the way around is approximately 5.49 inches. I messed my math up. I forget how to do. I should never do math on a live. Because a typical 3 to 4 inch bowl, you'll run, or no, I'm sorry, I think it's 4 to 5 inch bowl at approximately 2,000 RPM. You'll run approximately a mile over your tool every, I think it's like 60 to 90 seconds. So something like this. I mean, just to cut the one top, I'm running about a mile of wood over this tool to cut it. Just a fun side note. So cool. Oh, don't want to cut right either. Do I got any more? How we do? How we doing to all the latecomers? Yeah, we already finished the bowl, so I'm just getting some stuff made to put in it for what I'm going to be using it for. This is what happens when you get ahead of yourself. I'm starting to get hungry and I'm thinking about, I think it's about time to go grab dinner. All right. Well, if I don't get any more comments, after this one, I'm calling it. Yeah, I think it's just me anyway. All right, folks. Well, while we do up the last one, if anybody comes back or if you're watching this on replay, I'd like to say thank you for sticking with me. Means a lot. Please don't forget to like and share my videos. Helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And remember, none of that costs you anything other than a couple of clicks or taps. And it means the world to me because it also helps me get seen a lot more. And yeah. And with that, I will say, oh, I already said thank you, but I will say, cat in the hat, and that be that. Can't wait to see this thing overflowing. How did I miss that one? Well, I didn't see the hamburger one, but it's not a bad idea. I might steal that one. But with that said, I will finally officially say now, cat in the hat, and that be that. See you guys later. Be safe out there.